right, guys, welcome to another episode of Overshot, a paintball podcast. Before we get started with our guest, again, I have to tell you guys about Dyzana Sports. They are makers of the SF joggers and the Grind Air gloves. The version 2 joggers just came out. They are looking pretty spicy. We have Overshot ones that should be up on the website for order. Yeah,
very soon. So definitely reach out to us.
If they're not up by the time this drops, they'll be out soon. And every time you go there, DyzanaSports.com, use our code Overshot for 10% off your entire order. That's not just one item. That's everything you get, whether it's joggers, a jersey, pants, gloves, this, that, or the other thing. You'll be saving money. And our new partner we have to tell you about is Volcano USA. These guys are new to the paintball game. They make these sweet bags that you see everyone's rocking. They're the perfect size. They're not too big. They're not too small. They fit everything you need. And we like supporting them. They're a new thing to paintball. You know, they haven't been around a long time. So if you go to their website and use code Overshot10, you'll get 10% off your bag. I know they're always coming out with new stuff. They got new fire shirts, so definitely go pick something up. But I'm really excited to get to our guest, Dylan Jolly. He's a teammate of mine. We just played an event a couple weeks ago. I'm sure we'll get into. But Dylan, man, thanks for coming on the show, dude. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me. Yeah, when Waldo hit me up and asked me to come out, I was kind of like, "Are you sure you really want me to come do this right now?" I didn't know what I was really going to talk about. I was like, I haven't really been playing paintball too much, and as much as I do love playing paintball, I never got crazy into the scene really. You know what I mean? Where when I was listening to Sal's podcast and he was like, "Yo, I watched all the events and everything like that." Sal used to get me try to watch the events all the time. I never really watched the events. I was just one of those kids that never really liked watching sports. I just like playing them. You know, I never really got into watching football or anything like that. But yeah, just thanks for having me. I'm ready to just talk about whatever right now, I guess.
Appreciate it, Dylan. So going, through that, I know you said you listened to Sal's podcast. I know Sal's a longtime friend of yours and everything like that. Did you go up with Sal in the same school? Did he get you into paintball? How'd you even get introduced to paintball?
So it was funny because I was listening to Sal's podcast, and actually I think I was at the party that he was referring to in that, where he was like, all my friends got invited to a birthday party and I wasn't. I think I was one of the friends at that birthday party, if I remember correctly. But then growing up, yeah, me and Sal went to the same elementary school. He lived down the block from me. We were always mad close. And so he kind of got it. We used to play airsoft a lot, in the backyard, all that shit. And then the paintball party happened. Then we started going to Arena every Friday and everything like that. So once we started doing that, it just kind of became our thing. Friday nights at Arena Paintball was $50 for admission in a case of Spectrum paintballs, whatever, that shit. Yeah. And so it was worth it. We didn't really have a lot of money. I didn't. Sal fucking had money. I didn't have money though. But my parents, once in a while, every Friday would they'd pay for me to play. And, it was just a good time. It was just where, I met a lot of people through there and, a lot of lifelong friends that, I got to know now. And it's, weird because, I fall in and out of, the paintball environment. I disappear for, a year at a time.
Right.
And when I come back, I remember familiar faces and names and, people, but they never seem to remember me. So I feel weird always, walking up to people and be like, "Oh, how's it going, man?" It's who the fuck are you? Yeah. So it always feels weird when I come back, But yeah, growing up, it was me, Sal. Later on, we met Cody. Cody went to the elementary school right by us, different elementary school, but we went to high school with him and shit. Cody's a year older than us, and then and we just kind of met a bunch of people, the arena rats. Made Patton Avenue kids. Sal kicked me off.
Now, so I know. Again, that's Sal. It's your longtime friend and stuff. So why did you get kicked off, if you don't mind us asking?
So I used to smoke a lot of weed and, back then, and Sal hated that shit. Sal was always very straight edge, and I'm pretty sure maybe if Sal's even smoked weed now, I'd be surprised. I think maybe he has once or twice, if that. But I'm not gonna put words in his mouth. Right. But yeah, back then he hated all that shit, and for a while when I was smoking weed back then, my parents hated that shit too. So for a while, I wasn't even allowed to go to Arena anymore because that's where my mom that's where I would get away with my bullshit because there was no parents, no one gave a shit about what you did. So we would go behind and smoke weed, and then I would play paintball. It was the greatest time of my life. I had so much fun. My mom affiliated me doing drugs, smoking weed at paintball, so she started to fucking hate it and stopped paying for me to go. But eventually I got a job working at Arena. I would work every Friday. So pretty much working at Arena meant fucking around all day and getting paid so I could get a case of paint for the following week. That's all I did. they literally pretty much paid me in cases of paint. Like I would just like ref a day and then get a case of paint the next day.
Slave labor, dude.
Yeah, straight up.
How old were you at this time?
I was like 14, 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would clock in. I would work like a Saturday, and then I would play Friday, come back in Saturday morning. And I always felt bad, too, because, like, obviously I wasn't driving anything at that time, and there was, like, the older guys that would ref there. And, like, I would have to get out of there at, like, 10 o'clock when, like, my mom would come, and, like, they're still there till, like, 11, 12 sometimes, like, really clean up the field. Because, like, you've been to Arena that one time. You remember how, like, kind of, bro, that place gets filled with paint. Like,
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Saturdays and Sunday mornings, we would be there. Oh my God, it was the worst experience ever, having to scoop up all the paint, and like literally we would out of the turf, bro. We would take the shovels and like scrape up the paint from one side of the field to the other, and just get like this puddle of sludge, dude. And we would have to scoop that up, throw it into a big garbage can, and that garbage can would weigh like 200 pounds.
Yeah.
And me and some other scrawny little 15-year-old in the back trying to fucking
Struggling.
pick this shit up. Dude, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. But like it was all like, I still loved it though. Like I loved being in that atmosphere. I loved everything about paintball. Like the amount of people that you wouldn't know from a hole in the wall to like people would just talk to you. Like you're just out on the field and like you play and like obviously like shit happens where like, oh, someone gets over, but like I never even got mad when like every time I got like, you know, literally like lit up or like someone like black, like I just still had fun. Like I was like, it's part of the game. Like if you're gonna cry about it, like don't fucking play paintball. You know, like
Right.
Like the tournament that we just played. Like I remember one of the points, some kid, which again I don't know why so many penalties were not thrown during that tournament, bro. I was so pissed on other teams. But one of the kids, bro, he comes to run me down the snake, and I jump up and I start shooting him. And I think it was Lil Tim was on the other side, and he also lit him up. And the kid starts screaming, "Why the fuck you still shooting me?" I'm like, making sure you're out, motherfucker. Like I'm trying to win, bro. Like I'm here to win. Get off the field.
Good, and that's why you guys play on my team. So I mean, dude. So with that being said, you know, you were growing up in Arena. You're an Arena rat. You know, you were playing Fridays. You were working sometimes. What was your first tournament like? I know you said you eventually, kind of fast forwarding it a little bit, you got kicked off Patton Avenue Kids, and then what was your like next step? I mean, did you jump right into tournaments and then, or like, did you practice for this event? Or I know off camera you're talking about a PGPL.
Yeah, PGPL. So after I got kicked off a PAC was Patton Avenue Kids was, we went to, there was like another group of kids that played, but they weren't kids. They were all like, and they're like 19, 20, like older. And so they ended up picking up me and my boy Brandon, because we both got kicked off for smoking weed and shit.
Okay.
And like we just got tired of it. Me and Sal had like a falling out at that time where like we didn't really hate each other, but like we just like back then, like even my friend group, like outside of paintball, like thought of me as like a sketchy kid now because I smoked weed. Not just to find out later on like they're all gonna smoke weed.
Yeah.
Eventually.
You know what I mean?
But at that time
it was like,
sore
you know,
subject.
yeah. So like I lost a lot of friends at that time. So like paintball was like the only thing I felt like I really had when I would go there. The freedom, no one judged me. And so I joined the Knights, which ended up just me literally becoming like a little slave for the dude. Like the dumbest shit, bro. Like they had my one friend, this kid Matt, who was also my age at the time, but he was already on the Knights. He left Patton Avenue Kids prior. And in order for me to get on the Knights, the kid Casey, who was like, he looked like he was 30 years old. He was probably like 19 though. Like this motherfucker looked old. And he had Matt kick me as hard as he could in the nuts in order to get on the team, and I fucking did it just because I wanted to play on a fucking team.
Damn, dude.
Yeah,
I've never done that.
But luckily I finessed it though. This is what I did though. I was wearing jeans, luckily, so I spread my legs out mad far.
Yeah.
And so it just catches like I acted like it hurt real bad, but I was like, stupid motherfuckers.
That's played up real nice. Oh.
Yeah. But that's what I did to get on this fucking team, just because I wanted to play events. And the thing about Patton Avenue Kids at the time was obviously we were all young and like, but I wanted more. So like we were playing like the CTSs and the Young Guns tournaments. I only played one of the Young Guns tournaments, and other than that, I never really played tournaments. I played one of the Young Guns. And I showed up late to it. I think I played like 2 points, and our A line ended up winning it, and I think they did, or we lost. I don't know, some bullshit. But anyway, so we so after that, and I got kicked off. When I went to the Knights, they had like older guys that could actually drive and, you know, go places and like do things. They had like ambitions to like want to go play crazy tournaments. They played a couple CTSs. I just watched, you know, I didn't have the money really. And then one day they're like, we're gonna go play PGPL. It's Division 4. We're gonna go play it. I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, we're just gonna go play this tournament. I'm like, I don't even know if I'm allowed to go to Jersey with you guys and like go hang out in a hotel with like dudes that my mom doesn't know.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That's a big thing, even with any person and any team. So what, you like 15, 16
so
at this time?
I was 15. I think Brandon was like 14 or 13. You know, so like it was. So, but what was cool though is like, despite me having to get kicked in the nuts to get on the fucking team, they were all like relatively cool dudes, you know, for the most part. And so Casey was like, if you want, like, because he was going to be one of the people driving and he was the captain of the team. He was like, if you want, like, I'll meet up with your parents or whatever. Like, if they want, like, when you come drop me off at, because we all met up at his house before we left for the night before.
Right.
And got the hotel, and he was like, well, I'll talk to all your parents if you want. They can take down my information if they need to get in contact, whatever. I was like, all right, cool. And I told my mom that, and like that in itself, my mom was just like, all right, whatever. Like he seemed, like she didn't even bother. I don't even think she ended up.
She didn't
meeting
even vet him.
Yeah, I don't even think she ended up meeting him. So it was just like whatever. But we ended up going. I don't think we had to get up by 6 o'clock. I don't think I went to bed till 5 in the morning because we were all just up drinking and shit. Like at the time, no one was letting me drink because it was one of those things where like I had like a history of just like, you know, everyone always thought I was a troubled kid. And I ended up just being up all night with like all these guys, and they're all like trying to tell me like, don't fuck up your life, like all this shit, blah, 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 which later on I did. But, you know, like I didn't listen then. So like it was just a lot of like these heart to heart fucking things while they're drunk, especially when they're drunk. And I'm not like, you know, it gets that much more like, I love you, man. Like, you know, you know what I
Don't
mean?
mess us up, dude. Kid, you
So-
can go far.
Exactly. Like they were like, don't do what I did, you know, and all this shit. And I was like, all right, whatever. I was like, I'll be fine. But, you know, I fucked up later, like, you know, for the most part. I'll get into it a little bit. But, so we played PGPL and we didn't do horrible considering it was Division 4. None of us were even, I wasn't even ranked, you know what I mean? Like, so like we didn't do horrible considering, like we came in 9th out of like 16 teams. We just missed prelims by like that one spot.
Right.
And so like we didn't do horrible for our first tournament, but like it was discouraging because like I was like, that was my first real tournament. They threw me into something. So like after that, I was like, I don't really want to play tournament. Like I never saw myself as being good, you know. Like I never.
Right.
Like I was like, I know I'm not bad, but like I just feel like I'm not good enough to like play. Like I don't want to really play like this. Like I'd rather just still play rec ball and murder newcomers because it's a lot easier.
It makes you look good.
Yeah, it makes me feel good, even though it's kind of fucked up. But like, you know.
Yeah.
But after that tournament, I didn't play for a while. Not that I didn't play paintball. I played paintball, but I didn't play a tournament for a long time. Not for like 3 years, maybe 2 years, probably about 2 years. Yeah, yeah. Next tournament I played was I ended up when I was 16 in 11th grade. It was shortly after PGPL. It was like the following year. I ended up getting in trouble. I ended up having to go to a treatment program and shit like that. So coming out of there, I was there 11 months, and when I came out. I didn't play paintball, obviously, in that whole time. I sold my guns, everything right before then because I was doing dumb shit. And I got back into it. I remember I bought the LV one I still have. I got out. I had like $700 saved up, and I bought that LV one, and I still have it. That's my fucking baby. I will never get rid of it. And which is so funny because I used to buy, sell, trade guns like all day. I'd be selling the BSTs like all fucking day. I'd use Sal's PayPal because I didn't have a PayPal at the time. So I'd be like, Sal, can you do this for me and like use your fucking like, you know what I mean? And just to get me trades and shit. And but yeah, I have this gun still. And so the first tournament I ended up playing, like we were playing for a little bit. I was going out to cousins, and I stopped. I went for like a couple practices, just fucking around and shit, just playing. And then I stopped playing for like 2 months. It was like 2-3 months, and then out of nowhere, Waldo was like, "Yo, come play WTS, bro. Come play Woods Ball." I'm like, "All right, yeah, fuck it, let's go." That was the first tournament I won. We were getting smoked the whole day. I still don't know how we fucking won. Like the first like half of the day, getting just wrecked by these Woods Ball dudes. Like I didn't realize how different the game of Woods Ball is. Like it is so intense. Like so much more strategic. Like it is a whole different game, and no one realizes that. But like it is a whole different world than speedball. And we're playing and we're just getting wrecked. I'm like, this isn't even fucking fun right now. And then something happened. We just like turned on the jets. We started getting call outs for like little bushes and shit.
Right.
Remember at one point I'm at like this little spool in the middle, and Brandon's to the left of me, and there was like these pile of sticks that was like on the far left side, like 3 different pile of sticks.
Yep.
Brandon's screaming at me, he's at the thing over there on the left. I'm like, what the fuck are you saying? He's like, the thing that looks like a cave, the stick that's coming up. And he's like trying to,
Right.
so we ended up, so we started getting call outs. We started calling out like cave 1, cave 2, cave 3. So like
Right.
as the day progressed, we were playing it, dude, and we ended up fucking winning. We were so hyped. And I remember it was like a one-on-one, like neither one of our players knew where the other person was. Like it was like, I think it was Sal and like some other kid playing each other. Like the kid was in our spawn and we were in his spawn or whatever. Like, you know, like they had no idea where each other were. They were running around trying to find each other, trying to grab the flag. No one even knew where the flag was because someone dropped it earlier. Like no one had any idea what was going on.
That's an old school move I used to do. That I'd hide it. If I got shot, I'd be like, I'm just gonna hide this one.
Yeah, just like his husband. Yeah.
Good luck trying to find this loser.
Yeah, bro. So pretty much that's what happened. Someone got shot and I'm just standing there out of bounds, just biting my teeth. Like, I want to win this so fucking bad, dude.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, going into this tournament, all those, like, you don't have to pay any of the admission or anything. Just when you guys win, give it. So, on top of that, we owed all the fucking money at this point. So, we were like,
$250 entry
Yeah.
or $300.
A lot riding on this game.
yeah, he was like, yeah, so, like, we wanted just to, so we didn't want to have to fucking pay anything, dude. So, I'm like, I don't have fucking money right now. So, we better fucking win.
We gotta pull this out.
Yeah. So, I just remember Sal's at the other side of the field, and out of nowhere, he just starts running back to us. And I'm just watching. I'm just fucking nail biting, just like, come on. And somehow, like, I thought Sal gets shot. And out of nowhere, like, I guess he did. Like, I could have sworn he got shot, but I guess it hit the tree or something like that. And then he just comes and just shoots him. And, like, and we were all just going nuts. Like, yeah, we fucking won.
Yeah.
Like, it was so much fun. I had a picture that just popped up in my memories, like, a couple weeks ago. From 4 years ago when we won the
Right.
tournament. It's a picture of like all of us with like the cup with the little trophy we won.
Yeah.
With the money sticking out of it like this. It was like $100 sticking in the fucking cup.
But still.
Yeah, it was still like, and Sal was like, I want the trophy. Because fucking Sal never won a trophy. So
Right.
he was like, I need this trophy. Like, you can keep the trophies out.
Dude, he balled out that day. I know he was like you said in the beginning of the tournament, you guys weren't looking too hot, and I like, you know, man, like I'm running an event, but like you guys are my dudes, so like I feel like I went over there and like gave some tips and things throughout the weekend, nothing too crazy, but like I remember. Like Sal was like, yeah, I thought first place, maybe it was like $750 or something. He's like, why'd I get $500? I'm like, yo, you owe me the entry money. He's like, all right, whatever. I get the cup though, right? Yeah, dude, you get the cup, whatever, dude.
Bro, I didn't even know Sal won that event that he was talking about with you guys. Like I said, like me and Sal had a falling out, and not like anything serious. Like he went to school, and like obviously like I'm still here in New York, so
Right.
we just haven't linked up as much, you know. And even when he comes home, like he's only home for short periods of time. I just happen to not be around or whatever. So like me and Sal haven't really like been talking all too much. So like I didn't even know he won that event like that he was talking about. And I was like, that's fucking awesome, dude. Like that's sick. And like I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, that Florida event. So like he did it's like a invitational or whatever, and all those teams, and it was like he had 5 guys.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
nuts.
and the one dude legit didn't have a work. Like his spot, he was crank. His spot had no batteries, and he was playing it like shake and shoot,
In the fin.
like
Yeah.
shake and shoot or whatever. So yeah, man. I mean, and the team that he beat, like they were like D2, D1 players playing on a college team, and like they won. Like I don't know, you can see it, dude. They had a live stream. Like he played good, dude. He played good, but like kind of going off that. So you won that Woods Bowl event, first time in the woods or anything like that. I know, like you said, you've been disappearing on and off through paintball. What's that about? I know you kind of go into it, and this can kind of segue into what you're doing now with your podcast and things like that. So kind of the main start about that is, like you said, like you never felt like you were good enough when you were talking about the nights or anything like that. So that's why you started playing, and you never felt like you were good enough in paintball, and that kind of segues into what you're doing now in your life. So if you want to kind of talk about that. I know you got a podcast, Complete Madness, so everybody just go and check that out. It's about mental health and everything like that. So, definitely go down that road for us, Dylan. And what's going on with that?
I kept disappearing a lot because I kept going in and out of treatment centers for drugs and everything like that. So a lot of it was, and also just like, again, like my friends like kind of going to college and school like that. Like Cody went to North Carolina, so I like when I lose like my one person that like I'm going with, like I was going to High Vi with Cody like every week. And once he went to North Carolina, like I knew people there, but like it wasn't the same. Cody lived like in the same town as me. He'd pick me up in the morning. It was a routine,
Right.
And after that, it's like I don't want to drive there by myself, and like like it was just different. And but it ended up happening like a bunch of different times. I went to treatment, and I went to soon after the Woods Ball tournament. Actually, no, it was the following year because after Woods Ball, we played NEPL, and then I won the 3-man, and I played the 5-man the next week. And that was funny because that was the last time I played before that tournament. Was like I played Woods Ball, then 3 months later, didn't play Penny Paintball. Well, hits me up, want to come play a tournament? I'm like, yeah, every time. That's how I've gotten into every tournament I've ever played, pretty much. He's like, well, I was like, you want to play a tournament? I'm like, sure. And he's like, all right, I got a group of shooters, and we're going to fucking win. Like, that's it.
That's always the call, dude. That's always the call, dude. So, yeah, I mean, even, I know we're getting sidetracked, but that's what this is about. Definitely go into, so I called you up to play 3-man. You guys, it was, little Tim Doyle, who you guys are both playing with now, his brother Jordan, and even little Anthony Cuoco. Yeah. And you guys ended up going to this 3-man. You guys won that. The next day, Dylan actually not in Dylan's fault, but Dylan replaced me on playing 5-man. They ended up getting 3rd place. They would have won if I played, but anyway.
But yeah, and then just like even like that, like little shit like that, where like they asked me to play the next day, like still like I didn't think like I was good enough, and they asked me to play, and like that really like it boosted my confidence a lot. Like little shit like that, like back then, like even this last tournament we played, like I'm getting off topic a little bit, like but even playing this tournament that we just played, I came out the field, and one of the dudes that was on the sideline, he's like, how long you been playing paintball for? I'm like 10 years on and off about it. At this point, I'm 22 now. I've been playing since about 12, and he's like, and you're not like a higher division, like you're D5. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm barely D5. Like I think I'm like pretty much unranked.
Taking time off.
And then he goes, dude, you play like you're like Division 3. Like I've been watching you play all day. Like you're killing it. And like again, like I'm playing this tournament. Like I think I'm playing just as good as everybody else on the team. Like I didn't think like I was like I'm just doing my thing. I'm doing the same pretty much move, and then I'm going right to that fucking brick, and that's where I stayed all day pretty much. And so like I just didn't see it, like, and then like, but that again like boosted my confidence. But again, like disappearing and everything like that, I kept coming in and out of paintball because one, money was tight because I was doing drugs. Yeah. And I'm sober a little over 6 months now. I got sober again.
Awesome, dude. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. But prior to this one, I had about 16 months, and I relapsed like last year around August, and I was fucking off to the races, just horrible. And and I was never like, anytime I got clean prior, it was like shit would happen, and like I didn't feel like my life was as like you would hear people's stories in like NA and like A and shit like that, and like they would be like, I was sucking dick for crack and like like crazy shit, and I'm like, I was never homeless, I never had to do anything, you know what I mean?
Right.
And like a big thing they would say is like, that's all just yets, and like that scared the shit out of me, but I was like, still never gonna be me, like it's never gonna be me.
Right.
And I never sucked dick for crack, but, like, my life led to, like, literally being almost kicked out of my house and, like, just a lot of horrible shit, not having money. I was working in the union. I had to leave to go back to rehab. Like a lot of shit happened that, like, I fucked up because of drugs. And this last run just, like, took a toll on me. And a couple months ago, my friend Tony, he lost someone very close to him due to suicide. And he like comes up to me and he's like, you want to do a podcast, like a mental health podcast? And I've been meaning to want to do a podcast for a while. I just didn't know where to start. I don't know what really goes into it. Like he's pretty much running it. Like without him right now and my boy Angelo, they're doing a lot of the work. And even he called me the other day and was like, dude, like we need you to kind of pick up the pace. And not being a dick about it, but he's right though. Like I'm not really, because for me, I need direction. Like I don't know what to do for any of this shit. Like it's very new to me.
Right, so he was like the worker bee. Just tell me what to do.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, don't feel weird. Like bitch me around. Like boss me around. Like I'll be a little bitch. I don't give a shit. Like just tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Right.
And he's like, I need you to go every day on our Instagram and just go into like the mental health like tags and look at everyone's posts. And I want you to comment on like 100 different people's shit. I'm like, boom, good. I got you. I went through like 30 people's shit yesterday. And I got like 6 different people started following us. And like little shit like that. He's like, bro, see, this is what I'm talking about. Just do this. I'm like, yeah, I just need direction, dude. And the podcast is going pretty well. We've had, we're getting like guests on and stuff like that, like local people that like I grew, a lot of them that I knew. Tony has some people coming on that he knows, and it's just like you realize that in life everything kind of wraps back into mental health. Like for me, like paintball is like a great outlet for me. Like when I'm playing paintball, like I have no stress. Like there is nothing to worry about. Like once that buzzer goes off, there is no outside thoughts. It's I'm fucking here, and that's like this is what I'm doing.
Right.
You know, so like it was such like a it's so freeing for me. Like there is no like you can't like even like before like I really got good, you know, like and better and like whatever. Like even just playing like as a kid, like there was no like, oh, like I got out, like I'm not doing good. Like it was just fun to be out there. Like the adrenaline rush you get, like dodging paintballs and shit, dude, and just like ducking and diving, and like it's exhilarating. Like it's a whole different world, and like, and it's always weird for me because people always ask me like, oh, like you play any sports or anything like that. And I always feel weird like saying, oh, I play paintball, because no one sees it as like a sport, you know, like people.
But dude, you got to see it as a sport.
I do.
That's
I go.
A big thing. That's a big thing. Dude.
I play paintball. I'm like, I know like a lot, but like I play tournaments and shit like that. Like, you know, it's there's more to it, you know, and there's like, oh no, it's really cool, blah blah blah. But like a lot of people just like you were saying on one of the podcasts, you were like, yeah, people don't even see it past like the parties and like fucking even walk-ons, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
people don't see us all the way in the back drilling and doing shit at fucking Cousins. They don't see that shit. They have no idea that's even a world of paintball. They outside of this being a weekend thing here and there, they have no clue. No clue.
Oh, none. I think I told the story once before, but we were like doing some drilling or stuff or whatever one weekend, and it started to like fade out or whatever, and I was like, I still got paid. I'm gonna go play some walk-ons.
Yeah.
So I went out, played some walk-ons, and this guy was like, damn, bro, you're kitted out. I was like, yeah, well, I was doing some drills up there before. He's like, where? I was like, if you go like all the way in the back, like
you walk 3 miles.
he's like, dude, I didn't even know that shit was out there. Like, we've only seen these 3 couple fields, and I'm just like, this is part of the problem.
Yeah.
Get your marketing up, dude. Get your marketing up.
Yeah, for real.
Cousins, NXL, all those places, man. You got to get your marketing up. You got to introduce people, man. So I think that's a big thing that, you know, I've said it plenty of times where, you know, when they come in and they do their morning briefing, like, it shouldn't even just be like, yo, this is a rental gun. It should be like, yo, this is a rental gun. You know, this is, then have someone come on like a pro and be like, yo, this is speedball. This is what speedball is about. You know, people don't need to necessarily go from birthday party to speedball field, but what would help is if these fields had a program like all first timers wear a blue wristband, everybody else has a red wristband, and then, you know, you give those people the extra time, and then you're like, hey, yo, come back for, you know, here's a half off entry, here's a half off entry, come back.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that instead of that being a one-time hit, it's a multiple-time hit, because back in the day, you know, maybe 1 in 100 people would come back. Now I think it's like 1 in 1,000.
Yeah,
which is definitely why the sport's not.
They gotta go into this like it's a fucking like I worked at a gym for like almost a year, bro. I worked at this gym, and anybody that walked in, they have to sign a waiver, put their like even if they just want to see the gym, go to the kiosk, have to put their information in, all this shit, so they can contact them, whatever, and just pretty much berate them with shit, which is ultimately annoying sometimes. But that's how you got to get people, you know. It's like you just like you're letting like all these people just kind of come by, and like they're having a paintball party for a reason. They know this shit is fun, but they don't know the whole universe that has to.
They know they do it one time a year.
Yeah,
they have fun that one time a year.
Yeah,
it's great, but they don't even know that they could come multiple times a year.
Yeah, they can come every weekend and do the show with their friends. There's people that are out here every weekend doing this shit. It's always fun all year long. Like, people come out in the rain, snow. People are doing this shit, and they have a blast.
I've played in some of the shittiest fucking conditions, dude. I mean,
we were playing,
dude. Like,
dude, torrential downpour.
Like, so bad. I was so wet.
You know what's really gross? You know what's really gross? After that tournament, my shit sat in a bag, a plastic bag, for a week. I didn't even clean it.
Do that.
Nah,
I think I have to throw all of it out, honestly, because it still smells like cat piss. Like, it's disgusting.
Mine smelled so bad. Like, I washed my stuff as soon as I got home, but as soon as like I opened the little part where all like my clothes were, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, dude, it was horrible. My cleats don't smell right. Like, I feel like there's all moldy at this point. Like, it's not good. Like, I think I just have to throw everything out.
Dude, I ordered you a brand new jersey and jogger, so at least you got that.
We got
the Overshot paintball.
Yeah, Overshot paintball, dude. And
but
then also got my mask for you too as well, so you can wear that again if you need to.
I don't know what I could have sworn I had a strap on those profilers too, and then like right before the tournament, I was like, I forgot that's a fucking thing too. Like that goes to show, like, and it's been a thing for a while too now. And that just goes to show, like, I'm really, like, I'm so out of, like, I went on.
They didn't enforce it to her because there were definitely a couple times I ended the point and I was like,
at one of the starts he pointed it out for me. I was like, all right. But it just goes to show, like, I'm so, like, out of it. Like, even, like, the other day I went on A&S gear just out of nowhere. I was just like, because I had money in my savings, and now it's all gone because I'm broke.
Doing some window shopping.
I was doing window shopping, and I'm, like, looking at pre-orders for the CS2 Pro and everything. I'm like, do I drop $2,000 on this right now? Like,
my brother bought one.
Dude, I want one so bad. Like, after using that American flag CS2 that I was using, dude, that thing was, oh, my God,
Well, see, that's how they get you. See, that's how Steve got me. So we're at that practice, whatever. And he's like, yeah, I just got this Lux. I'm thinking about selling it. Why don't you use it? Tell me what you think. I'm buying this.
Luxes are great and all, but just like I just don't trust them. I don't know. There's just like the amount of
Eclipse
problems
is
I hear.
idiot-proof.
Like in any extreme weather, they're just like they're screwed. Like Planet, I'm all for Planet Eclipse. Like that's for me. Like my personal belief. Like any Planet Eclipse gun I've ever had, like this LV1, I wish I took better care of her, but I really don't. I beat the shit out of this gun, and it shoots great. Like not as good as it probably could, but it shoots pretty fucking good considering. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. I love Planet Eclipse. I'll always stick with Planet Eclipse. I just, like, I went on A&S gear, though, and I'm, like, looking at shit. And, like, I'm clicking on other things, like, just, like, I have no idea what it even is. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I forgot about the whole, like, Bob Long being bought over by Dynasty. Now it's Field 1, shit like that. So I'm like, what the fuck is Field 1?
What's a horse?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? And I'm, like, looking. I'm like, isn't this Bob Long? Like, I'm so confused right now. And I'm like, oh, my God, I forgot about that shit. And, like, I'm just, like, looking at all those, and I'm, like, just looking at everything. Like, I'm just, like, this is, like, crazy to me. Like, it's just not really paying attention to paintball for the past year and a half, and, like, coming back and, like, all the shit that's out. Like, it's just, like, so crazy. Like, I just keep imagining. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, what are the markers going to look like in, like, 10 years from now. Like,
right?
They're going to be, like, literally, like, half a pound in like weight, made out of like fucking completely fiberglassed out, and just like I don't even fucking know, just like so lightweight and like durable. Like it's gonna be nuts. Like no gun is gonna shoot anywhere off like a inch of a target. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be like ball on ball accurate. Yeah, it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane. And like I'm just like even I remember thinking about shit like this back when like the first LV1 came out back in like 2012 or whatever. I was like, I can't imagine what guns are gonna look like 10 years from now. It's about to be 10 years from that point when I had that thought. And
the LV 1.6 looks exactly the same though.
I know, yeah, right. Like it's still the same thing, but it's just like, oh, they changed a little, like whatever. But it's just like, so I'm like, what are they really gonna be able to do to guns at this point? Like after like the three, it was like when the GSL came out and like the whole engine and shit like that came with it. Yeah. I was like, what are they really gonna do after this? Like the gun, this fucking.
They're going backwards, dude. They're doing mechanical guns.
Now it's mechanical.
Yeah, I know. Now they're doing mechanical, and I want one so bad.
They're fun as hell. I shoot them all the time.
I want one I want a fucking G-Tech so bad.
Yeah, dude. They got the G-Max. They got the. Dude, get the plastic one.
G-Max, that's what
Dude, get the plastic one. $250.
Get the fuck out of here! Really? That's it?
Yeah, $250.
Dude,
my cop.
Dude, just play an event and use his brothers has like every single one in his bag. Or little Timmy Doyle. That's what I do. I show up to the event. I'm like, yeah, what do we got in this gear bag? Cool. I'm using this.
I know.
That's how I play paintball.
I feel bad because like Tiba's like, this is my gear bag, and here's my gear bag for you clowns. Have at it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. He brings his two. It's like, here's the lot for you peasants.
Yeah. And they're all straight shooters, 1-on-1s, 2 of whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. We go through it like, yeah, we're peasants, and it's like a thing of bread.
I know. Yeah. Got a Lux. Bro, they're so amazing, bro. That CS2 though was shot so beautifully throughout the rain and everything. Shot so beautiful, and like after that, I looked at my LV1. I'm like, you piece of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love that gun.
That bad, but like,
I love that fucking gun. But after shooting that CS2, I was like, you fucking slut. Like, I didn't want you.
Bro, that's what happened to me, bro. That's how you end up with a Lux.
I know.
I'm shooting this M2, and I'm like, this is all right. And then you try out this Lux. I was like, yeah, bro, you're not getting this gun back.
Those diamonds were never good, man. So kind of going off to the next direction. So I mean, are you? I don't even know, man. But are you back? Are you back into paintball? Can we like?
I don't know. Am I playing this event? You tell me.
You're definitely playing this event.
Yeah,
so
dude.
we'll get you TSXL D5 coming up in a couple weeks. The layout will be dropping out.
We'll be there. We're planning on not sucking in the semis like we did last time.
I think we were just so drained too. Like I was on. Like honestly, what happened was once like we lost our spot for first and we were fighting for like third. I was just
at
like
that point, it was
at
definitely
that point
done.
at that point for me, like that's why I was like Russ has been standing around all day. He hasn't really gotten to play. And I was like, you know what, just let him play. Like I don't even care at this point. Like I'm
call their boss, baby.
Like at that point, yeah,
right.
It's like for me, it's all or nothing. Like if we're not getting first, I don't give a shit. Like I really don't give a fuck. Like I was like third, like I don't want that fucking medal.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I can't speak for the other guys, but like when we were playing that game and I'm like on the box, I was like so dejected. I was like, bro, I don't even want to.
And I was just gassed too. Like truthfully, like I could not. I was just running out. I was just running out of fucking energy, dude. I just couldn't do it anymore. And I was just like, you know what, let Russ play at least. Like he's been standing around this fucking rain all day. You know, just let him get it. You know, and like. And it was whether we get the third spot or not. I was like, I really don't give a shit at this point.
Yeah, I didn't.
You can see but you could see that in like I said, in you and I don't think anybody, like, you know. And I was trying to tell guys, I was like, we lost, like we came here to win, but like we gotta do what we need to do and get this medal. And I could just see it in everybody's face. I'm like, we're not getting this.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody was.
I felt bad for Carter, dude. Carter really fucking wanted it, and you know what? Carter played really fucking good, dude.
Yeah, he did.
His first tournament, and bro, that's like perfect example. Bro, 15 years old, the kid's been playing for what, like a year now?
Yeah.
And I remember you told me like, yeah, we got this young killer, bro, and he's like 15 years old. And he's got a little mouth on him though. I was like, and I remember the first practice I went to, I was there. I like did something. He shot me out, and he goes, "Yeah, maybe if you played more than once a year, you'd fucking play better." Like something along those lines. And Carmine goes, "Yeah, but he podiums every time he fucking plays." And I was like, this little shit, bro. I'm like, I fucking like that though. Like I told all of them, I fucking like the little. But he's gotta be careful during events though, because fucking he could get screwed for that shit. But yeah, dude, he had a little mouth on him, dude, and he fucking had me dying. But the kid's good, bro. He backs it up.
Sometimes grown men play paintball and they ain't about that shit. You'll get beat up in the fucking parking lot.
I know, dude. But what are you gonna do to him? The kid's fucking 10 years old.
Go get away with it than I can, dude. If I haven't been smacked at a paintball tournament,
dude, I'm so surprised you haven't been murdered at this point. Like even like, dude.
I mean, you've come close a couple times.
Yeah, dude. Actually, the next day after that, I got into.
You got into it with somebody.
Well, no, someone came up to me, you know, like quick. So I'm talking about this to this other kid, Brandon, about how, you know, we were the second seed. We were supposed to get the bye, and then all of a sudden, some, you know, redneck rule changes. The first seed and the third seed got the bye instead of the 1 and the 2. But whatever, we're gonna go on. So I'm talking to my boy about this, and this guy comes over, and he's like, "Yo, you reclassify in your league, and you're gonna complain about reclassification in this league?" And I'm like, "Dude, what the hell are you talking about?" And this is a dude that played D3 in my league. So I'm like, dude. You played D3 in my league. I'm like, now you're the one D3 player on a D4 team. I'm like, and your team sucks, and you don't even make it out of prelims. I'm like, don't fucking talk to me. You suck. And he's like, what? What did you say? And I'm like, you suck. And I pushed him. So now the guy comes over from EPL, like, the guy from Mr. Toys, not the guy that runs it, this guy from Mr. Toys that I know. And he's like,
got collared shirts involved.
He's like, yo. He's like, I know the guy came in, came into something that he wasn't involved with, blah, blah, blah. And I go back out to the guy. I'm like, first of all, because he's like, yeah, John from NR Paintball. I'm like, first of all, the guy John from NR Paintball, shout out to him. I'm like, the guy's, you know, bigger guy, 350, 400 pounds. I was like, I re-ranked him from high D1 to low D1 so he could play the event. I'm like, the guy doesn't place semi-pro. He has semi-pro points because he owns the team and he's riding the bench and he's paying for everybody. Like, everybody knows there's always a bigger guy in paintball. He'll play 1 or 2 points. You know, he's the guy that's funding the team. That's why this mechanical thing takes off, because the big guy can play, you know, in the back or anything like that. Right. Because you're a small, scrawny kid. Like, you don't have money. Who has money? The fat old guys. Yeah. So you know, the guy, whatever, the guy's mouthing off to me. I eventually, you know, moved to the side or anything. But this guy came in. And legit, dude, like, I never asked about reclassifying. He's like, yeah, bad karma, good karma. If any of those guys listen, dude, I never asked about your team getting reclassified for anything. I don't care. Your team gets top 6. Like, I don't care if you guys are reclassified. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It doesn't really matter. I don't really care. I never did that. I asked about one reclassification a year ago because they reclassified like 2 D3 kids. I was like, last year. I didn't even put a team in last year, but I was wondering because I was looking to play an event. That's all. And I just ask. When I ask EPL about a reclassification, they tell me why, and I go, okay. And that's mostly so, like, because they've been running a league a long time. So when I get reclassifications and people try to ask me about them, so I can kind of look into it and see, hey, what's their opinions on this? That's how I'm looking at it. I'm talking league owner to league owner and trying to get their classification. But I don't even know. I'm just, again, you know, guy getting in business that he doesn't be involved in, and you know.
I was just waiting for you. I was waiting for someone to just punch you in the mouth, bro. I was like, he's going off. And I was like, honestly, I hope someone hits him because I'm fucking pissed at this point. I want to hit him. You know what I mean? Like, I was getting fucking angry too, bro. I was like, if someone touches him, I'm gonna fuck him up. Like,
exactly.
It was getting a little spicy there for a little bit at the for us.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean, why? Because what I was saying to James.
I was gonna take Carter and throw him like this at somebody.
No, James was acting hysterical though, dude. I need to film that, dude. When he threw his hat against the thing, I was.
Oh yeah.
I felt bad. Like, I don't like to laugh at people when they're like going through a thing, but when.
Dude, that's just how he is.
Is nobody gonna look on the inside? And he throws his hat into the net.
Fucking pissed. That one kid on the field again. That one kid on the field he got out and took his fucking pod and tossed it on the ground.
Smashed it.
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
that?
yeah.
I'm like, don't they call shit like that? Like, I'm fucking.
Not
No?
that, man. I mean,
I was like,
listen.
I didn't know. I don't know how the fucking rules work, but I just know, like, I feel like if I did some shit like that, it'd be like, oh, fucking
Oh, you're
penalty.
on, you're on
whatever.
Waldo's team. We know you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. That's the
exactly.
one part that sucks about playing with Waldo. You get his fucking karma.
Yo,
And everyone's
exactly.
like, oh yeah, his whole team's gonna start talking shit now. I just keep my mouth closed the whole time because I don't really know what I'm talking about 90% of the time. So I'm just like, go out there, shoot bullets. That's
Yeah.
it.
Do
Like
my
that's,
job.
that's all I
Do
know.
my job.
That's
you
all
know what
I
I mean?
know.
The same thing I told Carter, dude. The only thing you say to refs are thank you, ref, and that's it.
Yeah.
Don't say
Yeah.
nothing to refs.
And Carter played really good, man. And the crazy part was that Carter, just like the little things was just a run out of bounds, like that little thing. I think it came from.
Bullshit.
No, what it
Bullshit call.
One of the times
he was out of bounds.
Definitely did. Yeah, he stepped out of bounds a couple of times. But
he was
you
out
know
of
the
bounds.
thing about it was that what he's trying to do? He's trying to be courteous almost, where he doesn't want to stab someone in the neck. And I said in paintball, while you're on the field, sportsmanship does not exist. I feel for me,
Exactly, no.
it's like that is not a thing. Afterwards, it is what it is. But you're playing paintball. Put your barrel.
When you win
in
on the
his neck.
podium, then you can
Yeah.
be nice to people. Besides that, don't be
Yeah,
nice to people.
you fucking put that barrel in his neck. It's nothing personal, dude. You're making sure that he's out and you're winning. Like that's it.
Right.
Like I don't take paintball personally. I don't care how many times I get shot. Like unless like it's like literally like you're dumping a hopper, like a whole hopper into my back as I'm walking. Then it's like, all right, I'll see you in the parking lot later, asshole.
Right.
But while I'm playing, I don't take anything personally, bro. It's like I'm here to get. I know what the sport is. This isn't soccer. I know I'm getting shot with paintballs. It's gonna be all right. Like it doesn't hurt that fucking bad. Like I'll live. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I'll be.
They're
fucking
trying to
fine.
win too. You know what I'm saying? They're
Yeah,
trying to do the same
exactly.
exact
Like
thing.
everyone's trying to win. Like fucking everyone. Like while I'm out on the field, like there's in my mindset, there's no being nice. Like I will fucking shoot you 30 times. That's what it takes for you to get out. Like until I see you put your hand in the air and start walking away, I'm not stopping my gun from rolling.
100%.
And that's not to be a dick. It's because little calls where it's like you try to be nice and put 1-2 balls and he turns on you and guess what? Now you're both out. Like there, and then you're.
But
fucked.
that's the experience of playing. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it's like and
some people don't.
And I used to do that. I used to try to be nice, but you know what? Sometimes, like, you know what I noticed? One of the last points that we played for when we were playing for first and we were tied. I think it was 1-1, right? And we were playing for first.
Yeah.
Fucking, I fucked up because some kid ran me down. And I felt a shot in my pod pack, and I felt one hit the floor and kind of bounce up. When I came off the field, there was no broken ball on me. I should have fucking turned and lit him up.
Yeah.
I had no
did.
fucking idea though. Like it was in my pod pack, but like I've been thinking like this is how badly my mind obsesses about shit, dude. I've been thinking about that every single day since that fucking tournament. I'm
That's
like,
how I am, bro.
That's a mark of a good player,
dude, every single day I'm like, I should have just fucking turned and shot him. I should have just fucking turned and shot him. What would have happened? We were down. I think because I didn't know how many people we had left on the field. I wasn't risking the 1-for-1, and apparently I think I was the last one. I think Tim just got out, or you might have just gotten out prior.
I
don't
think it
know
was
who
you and
last.
someone else at most. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't know what was gonna happen, so I thought maybe I didn't know how many of them there were, so I was just fucking like trying to play it safe, but I didn't know what was going on because I get fucking tunnel vision too when I play sometimes, dude.
Right.
It's not like I communicate, but when I communicate, I don't really hear anything else that anyone's saying. I just start screaming shit. If I hear one call out, I'm screaming that call out until someone says another one. Like I'm just fucking like, oh, snake corner,
Yeah.
D1. All right, maybe not D1, but he's somewhere fucking over there,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like it's just like I just fucking go, man. And it's just I get tunnel vision something, especially because I'm a front player. So a lot of times if I'm up the field, I don't say a fucking word because I try to be like a ninja, but I don't want no one to know anywhere where I am. I'll fucking sneak around. The minute I'm not getting shot at, I'm in a different bunker. Like
Right.
that's how I normally play, except for that tournament because that brick was honestly the most solid spot in that field. From there, you had the D side couldn't get past a certain point if you were right there watching, and Snake side couldn't move fucking nowhere. So from that point, pretty much, I mean, they can, as long as Carter stayed, for me, as long as he stayed on the wire pretty much, and I could shoot Snake corner, he could fucking move up the whole thing.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's what I was trying to do the whole time. I was like, yo, just fucking go. I'm trying to scream it, but also there was some times where it's like I didn't know if the other team was going to fucking hear me. Like I was thinking in my head. But like those points where like I knew there was a guy at Snake corner, but I didn't even stop shooting Snake corner. Like I was just like 3 pods, just like I didn't see him peek out not one time. I was just like,
Yeah, but that kept him in.
I was like, Carter, fucking go.
Yeah.
And like, But like he didn't end up going. But then there was also times where like it was smart that he didn't because I didn't know there was also a dude still in the snake also watching the fucking wire. I had no fucking idea.
Right.
Half that tournament, I had no idea where anyone was. I was literally I shot like 5 pods a game, bro. I was just fucking just shooting at one bunker where I knew people were, and then I'd pop over the top and literally just do a spray across the field, just fucking and come back down, you know, like.
And most of the time it works. Sometimes it then, you know.
Dude, that's what was happening. I would just fucking shoot, and it was cool about the weather almost. Like I don't mind really playing in the rain all too much. Like I kind of like it. A part of me kind of likes it.
Me too. It doesn't bother me because like. Yeah, it doesn't fucking bother me, but I think it bothers other people.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, like, I had the rain lid on the rotor, so, like, I was fine for the most part. But the part I like about the rain and when it's like that, the weather, when people are shooting, you can see the smoke shooting out of people's guns. You know, and, like, that's where I was finding a lot of people on the field, you know? Like, like, I was just looking around, and I was seeing the poof, 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 and I was like, all right, there's a motherfucker right there.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then that's how I started shooting at. So, like, I kind of like playing, like, crazy weather. I've never played in snow, though, before, and I really don't ever want to. That's, like, the one thing.
We had one
Never
time
a
we played in
tournament
this.
for me.
You look it up. It's like called Inflict Snowball, and it's like I went and I coached, and it was like when the Lynch brothers ended up coming on and Brady, and then we had Martucci play, dude, and it was in a legitimate
Latronico,
blizzard.
right?
Latronico. It was a legitimate blizzard, and honestly, dude, the only reason why we won is because we had one of the OG dudes brought one of those tents. We had the walls. He brought an outdoor heater, and we had like 8 extra guns. So while everybody was getting snow dumped in their loader and their speed feed, we were swapping out guns every other game. We're the only people that had probably 5. Only people that had 4 guns working every day game because you know someone had a gun that didn't work every game. But you know what I mean. And we ended up taking the win on that one. But no, so I mean you're coming up. You're back. You're on. You know, our team name is Overshot Factory. You know, we're getting the joggers. We're getting everything like that. And I mean, where do you see this kind of going with this, kids? I know you spoke about Carter a little bit. I know you spoke about Russell a little bit. You know, Travis is on the team. We got a couple other kids. We got Jacob. We got
Jacob's
Little Tim.
fucking good, bro.
Jacob's really good too.
Jacob's really good too, bro. And another young
smart,
kid, dude.
dude.
And the kid's fucking smart, bro. He knows how to play. He knows how to maneuver the field. Like I thought all in all, like I wasn't really like I was upset. A part of me was like upset for some reason. I was like overwhelmed. Like I get randomly like overwhelmed with emotions, and I don't know why. But like a part of me when I got in the car, like I almost wanted to cry. And I don't even know if it had like a part of it maybe had to do with the tournament, but like I don't know what it was. But I just got overwhelmed with like I just wanted to fucking cry. And I had no idea really why. And it wasn't that we lost. But I think it was because I knew that we were fucking better than everyone there.
Right.
Yeah.
And like that's what
gets me, dude.
And that's what and I was like, I know we played so fucking well all day, and at the end we just weren't there, and like we played so fucking well all day, and we all talked all day. We had great communication for the most part. I mean, like it was hard to find where people were for the most part, but when I was on Snake's side, I was screaming everything in the corridor. I was hearing shit from across the field. You know, and at some points, everyone didn't know where people were. That shit happens. You know, it's hard to fucking tell. Sometimes, especially when it's raining and you can't really see. I didn't have my glasses the whole fucking time either, so I'm like, I can barely fucking see you two right now. You know, so I'm playing. I'm looking for shapes on the field. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, it was a whole different game, and you know, that's the part that sucked. That's why I was like so emotional at the end. Honestly, I was just like, I just know that we're better right now. Like, I know that we played so fucking well, and it just sucks to leave on this note right now. Like.
Yeah.
You know, to have been here all fucking day, you know.
In the rain for nothing.
In the rain, yeah, exactly. It just sucked, you know. And I was just like, and it's funny because any tournament I've ever played, I've never had a full night's sleep. I've never had any day of paintball ever. I've never had. Like,
I'm pretty
a full night's
anxious,
sleep.
dude. Like if the night before, I tend to not be able to sleep, like because I'm just like thinking about everything, you know.
Well, back when I was on drugs and shit, I would end up just like being up until the last 2 hours of tournament, like 2 hours before, or I'd be up drinking. I'd be drinking on the way to the tournament. I would be hungover from the night before. I would have little or no sleep. So like a part of me, it's like a joke in my head, but like a part of me, it's part of my ritual that every time I play with no fucking sleep. And I think a part of it actually works for me somehow.
Yeah.
Because even that tournament, we went to Atlantic City the night before.
Right. Yeah.
Me and my brother, and we had to wake up at 5 in the morning because my brother got the hotel not near the field. He got near Atlantic City. So we had to wake up dumb early in the morning. We didn't get back to the hotel till about 2:30, and then I didn't go to sleep till like 3:30. I couldn't sleep. My mind was fucking racing.
Yeah.
And I was like so amped for the tournament. I finally fell asleep. I got like 2 hours of sleep. And my brother pretty much slept in the car the whole tournament. He didn't even come out and watch. My brother got dumb excited, bro. Like that's why I wanted him to watch because he started to get really fucking into
Dude,
it.
he got into it, dude.
And he was like, I think I want to start doing this. I'm like, dude, yes. Like, let's fucking do this.
Let's go.
Like, I want him to play so fucking bad. Like, I brought my little sister out a couple of times. My sister's 2 years younger than me. I have videos on my phone, bro. She kills it. Like, she wasn't fucking bad. Like, she played walk-ons I literally used my LV1 with, like, a gravity hopper on.
Right.
And, dude, she's moving up the snake. She's not scared of shit, bro. My sister's a gangster, bro. I swear to God. Like, my sister, like, I never had to worry about her. I never had to worry about her ever. Like, I was like, oh, she will beat the fuck out of anybody that tries to fuck with her. And me and her, like, are 2 years apart. We're, like, almost like Irish twins. Like, we look very alike.
Yeah.
And we're, like, the same size. We always were since we were little. So it was always, like, me and my sister were getting legit, like, fist fights, bro. Like, we would straight up beat the shit out of each other. Me and my sister, which was, like, the funniest thing ever. Me and my older brother, not at all. My older brother's, like, 5 years older than me. Me and him would never, like, I would try to, but, like, he didn't. He was like, get the fuck off me. Like, I don't want to do this shit.
Yeah,
me and my sister, though, would get in arguments, bro. Like, she would fucking, I remember one time it got bad. We cleaned out, like, hamster cages or some shit. And she said something about me being dumb because I have ADD, and I fucking kick her really fucking hard. And we fucking just start going at it, bro, in the middle of the kitchen, bro. My grandma's there screaming, like, what the fuck? We're just going at it, bro. Just fucking boom, boom, boom. Just beating the shit out of each other, bro. My sister fucking taking every shot, bro. She's fucking hitting me, bro. Like, my sister's fucking crazy, bro. But I got my sister to come. My other little brother, he's 14 now, but I got him to play back at Arena when he was probably like 9 years old. I had an E-Tech, and I gave it to him, and he was playing. You know, he was having a good time too. You know, he was scared, but he was young. You know, back then he was like 9. You know, so like that's a little scary.
Gotta get over that fear.
Yeah, that's a little scarier. You know, when you're 9 years old, like it fucking hurts back then. You know, like I remember it, and like so he was fucking scared. But I would love for my fucking older brother to get into it, bro. Like it would be so much fun to play with him, and it's a great fucking exercise, dude. Like running around and shit, bro. Like, it's, like, the one thing that's, like, it's so funny because it's a sport, but it's one of those sports where, like, everyone smokes cigarettes and everyone drinks during tournaments and shit. Like, it's the funniest. Time. Like, it's the funniest, it's like one of those sports where it's like no one has to really be, like, in great shape to play it. You know what I mean? Like Mike Murata, for instance, is a pretty big fucking kid. But that kid shreds on the fucking field, bro. Like, he dumps paint all day. And like, I don't even understand it either sometimes because, like, I watch him play and I feel like he doesn't do anything crazy significant, but he shoots bodies off the fucking field, bro. Like, he shoot, like, 3 bodies off the field. So he's doing something right, you know what I mean? Like, and he's a big kid. Like, I watched big dudes were playing all that fucking tournament that we just played. Like, you don't really need to be in any type of shape to play, bro. You just got to have ambition. Like, you just want to have to...
Mental tenacity, mental
just not
awareness.
be scared. You literally have to just not be scared and play with your dick out pretty much and just fucking roll your gun. That's it.
Bro, I've seen big boys ball. Dude, big boys can ball.
Dude, this one kid, right before we started Patton Avenue Kids, or right at the beginning of it, we had this kid named Paris. And he was from, like, Queens or Brooklyn or whatever. And, like, I don't even know how we ended up meeting him. I think he was showing up at Arena a couple times. Him and this other kid, Terrence, I think. And this kid, Paris, was, like, at, like, 17 years old, bro. This kid was, like, 6'8", like, big fucking dude, bro. Big, like, at the cans at Arena, bro, was able to shoot over the top of him. Like, he's a big fucking dude, bro. And he was fucking nasty, bro. And, like, you know, he couldn't really move around all too much, but, like, he would fucking put in work, bro. Like, he killed it, bro. We had so many good kids back then, just not enough. We were all young, dude. Like, we didn't have the money to really put in, like, the time, you know? That's what sucked. Like, we didn't have cars to get all the way out to Calverton. We had to have mommy and daddy drive us. And that was, like, a big part of our downfall as to, like, where, like, we didn't get as big as, like, we could have, you know?
Right.
Like, if we had the money and, like, cars, like, back then when we were, like, 15, dude, we would have been killing it at such a younger age, you know?
Right.
And that's the part that's hard about paintball. Is, like, it's not like there's paintball store, like, paintball field, like, down the block from you, really. Like, they're fucking...
It's not like a basketball hoop that's around the corner.
It's like you can't just go, you know, back then, like, me and Sal, like, we even tried... We would look up on eBay all the time. Like, we would look up, like, paintball bunkers and shit like that. Out of randomness, like, thinking, like, we're going to drop $2,000 on paintball bunkers in the backyard to go do drills. Like, no, like, that was never happening. And that was when we had reballs and, like, still even shooting reballs at each other. Those motherfuckers hurt, bro.
Oh, yeah.
But now they have the fucking atomic
pickles thing.
Dude, I want those so bad. I would run around my house all day shooting people.
Oh, yeah.
For sure, just knowing that. But, yeah, I watched fucking Flan from fucking Arena. I watched him, like, when he first got him. He took a video of him shooting himself right in the fucking face with it. Like, wearing goggles and shit, semi-safe, and he shot himself, like, right in the cheek, and he's like, you know, fucking, like, you feel it, but, like...
or an atomic
no,
pickle?
atomic pickle, not a fucking... Reball, he would have broke his teeth.
I was going to say, Jesus!
Nah, the atomic pickles, yeah. It's funny, I still have in my... Because we used to steal reballs from Arena all the time. Like, I used to steal them all the time. And I still have a pod filled with reballs that has never left my fucking... gear
bag.
bag. Like it's just sitting
It's
in
like a
there. Like they're
memento.
probably all stuck together at this
Yeah.
point. Like there's no way you can even use them. Like half those reballs were shit anyway because we would have to literally dump oil into our hoppers just so they would cycle through. Like that, because they were all, a lot of them were swollen, or like if it was the winter, you know, like a lot of them would just get fucked. Like reballs were a lot, like they were hard to use back then, because it just like, you know, rubber fucking expands and shrinks. It's fucking, you know, they don't really, and they're being shot at shit. You
And
know,
I felt
they
like
get
certain
simple.
loaders didn't read them right because they were yellow.
Rotors fucking sucked with them. Rotors for sure sucked with them. They would constantly get jammed. That's why, bro, I'd literally take oil, like for lubing your fucking bolt, and I'd literally dump it into the fucking hopper just so it would fucking roll through them. And spires were actually good with them, and I think prophecies actually worked pretty well. But I always hated prophecies. The
No,
amount of
they're
times I'd
garbage.
watch
I fucking hate
people,
prophecies.
the amount of time I'd watch people literally the fucking nose cones fly off them. Yeah, like people use them all the time. I'm like, why would you use something that just constantly falls apart?
Yeah.
Like I have that V3 rotor I've had since I was like 15, 16 years old, bro. That same rotor, dude. I've
Dude,
never.
those things are tanks.
Yeah, that and only just and even the Virtue fins that I had on those plastic fins, dude. Bro, I've had those on there for at least 4 years, and they only just broke off like
Just starting.
just that tournament, like the day before, like the Sunday before, when I was with Carter. One of them was kind of loose. I knew I shouldn't fuck with it, but I did anyway, and it fucking came off. And then right as we got to the tournament, another one came off. And I'm like, dude, for as long as they stayed on there, dude, I'm not even fucking mad.
No.
Not even in the slightest. Like, I don't know. I just like,
You got 4 years out of that thing, man.
dude, I
Jeez.
got so much time out of that thing. Those things were, shout out to Virtue, man, for real. Those things were fucking awesome. And yeah, I never liked spires though for some reason. I just never got into spires. I always was about my rotor. I loved rotors. And I loved the fin on them. Just always like anytime I had problems, just fucking during that tournament, bro. The amount of times I was cocking that fucking fin, bro. Just
Make sure those balls feed, man.
They're just ripping them out of there, bro. It was like just the fin. I don't know. It was just so funny, just sitting there, just fucking playing like that.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I love my rotor, dude. I love my rotor with the Virtue fins, of course.
Shout out Die. Shout out Virtue.
Shout out
Shout out.
Virtue. Shout out Planet Clips. Shout out.
Whoa! I don't know. Those aren't our sponsors. We'll give
Whoa!
them a
No
quick-
free ads. No free ads. But yeah, man. So we're getting to like the end of our time here soon. So anybody you want to thank to help you, that's maybe helping you got this far, or anything
And
like
definitely
that,
shout out your podcast and
Yeah, just so people can follow
for
on
sure.
it.
Well, first, I would love to thank Waldo, of course. He keeps dragging me out of fucking retirement to play these tournaments. He's like, I don't care that you haven't played in this long. Just come play this fucking tournament. I don't give a shit. And for sure, and like fucking Sal, Cody, you know, Psychoff, fucking all the kids I still grew up playing paintball with. And yeah, my podcast, mental health podcast called, you can find us on Instagram and Spotify at Complete Madness Show. And I believe we're on Apple Music as well, or we're getting on there. But mostly you can find us on Spotify. We have an episode that comes out every Wednesday.
Dude, you're on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast. I mean, you use the same hosting. Shout out to Buzzsprout. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
my man Rob Terramino.
Yeah.
Once I
Yeah.
saw that you guys use Buzzsprout, I was like, damn it, dude, I could have helped you out. You could have got a free promo code and a link. So shout out to Rob for turning us on to Buzzsprout. I know you use Buzzsprout as well. So
we started using that. Yeah, and then yeah, we
Great
started using that.
service.
We're trying to get on YouTube soon because we do film, but we only have like one camera really right now, and we're not in like we're shooting my boy's room, so like it's kind of hard, but we're getting there. It's still new, bro. We're like,
You gotta start
5
somewhere.
episodes. Yeah, we
dude,
gotta
the
start somewhere.
number
dude.
one step is just to start it, man.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
and I could
And it's
tell
been
you.
good. We've been consistent, you know, like we haven't missed a week yet since like we really started.
I think that's
since
important.
We put out our first episode. You know, we've just been grinding, dude. We've had guests on pretty much every week. Yeah, literally every week we've had a guest. You know, we got people with cool stories and interesting shit. You know, and like everyone and everything. Even people that like you wouldn't realize that like had like shit going on. Like one of the girls that we had come on, Victoria Grassi, she talked about like her life. I went to high school with her. I had no idea the shit that was going on with her, you know, and like, and it really tied into like exactly what like her brother was like pretty much me, you know, like the same thing. And it's just like crazy. Like you never talk to these people in your life, and like you just find out so much about them and like what's really going on with them. Like mental health is everywhere. Like everyone struggles with something. And like I feel like a lot of people don't normalize it as much as like they should. Like a lot of people are like, oh, you're depressed. Like, yeah, I didn't choose to be, motherfucker. Like it sucks. Like, you know, like people don't normalize it so much, and people like think like people just choose to be lazy and fucking awful. Like sometimes it just sucks to get out of bed, dude. And like,
Yeah.
the idea of the podcast is pretty much just to normalize this shit. Like, really just, like, take a whole different spin. Like, we do research and, like, to an extent, you know.
Right.
A lot of it comes from, like, our own personal experience. And, like, we research some things, like, specific things that we talk about. But a lot of it just comes down to really just, you know, we want people, like, get something out of it, you know, something, like, instead of, like, a doctor talking about mental health, you know, it's, like, three assholes that, you know, give their spin and, you know, like, we look up real shit, you know, and, like, it helps. At least,
dude. I mean, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about it. I've listened to a couple episodes. You know, I've learned actually a lot of even more I knew about you. But like you said, you're like, you know, even the paintball kid's like, oh, this kid's just a little weird, a little depressed, a little drug addict, whatever. Nobody knows. Like, I don't know. Like, I learned a lot about you, and it's the same thing I kind of feel with this podcast. Is like you let people tell their stories, and I feel like people can relate to those stories, and then they take something out of it. Right. Whether, you know, like I don't mean to do it. I don't know what someone's going to take out of my story about being, you know, that guy coming at me and me mouthing off to him. But someone could take something out of that. Someone could take something out of your story.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of how I know we're similar on that train of thought. Where, you know, we're telling stories, you know, and we want to help people out, and, you know, like it, share it, subscribe. If you get something out of anybody's podcast, guys, just definitely send it out. You know what I mean? Like, I get Rob here, you know, we use his studio. He's got a great podcast, Don't Fear Great. I got stuff out of that. He's got a couple, you know, shouting out some of their stuff. I know Ren was in here. Ren hasn't done his in a while, you know, but Ren, he's in insurance, and I was in insurance, so I was like, boom, perfect. Let's listen to Ren. And he's got another one. Oh my God, what's Digital Divide, right?
Yep.
Dude, Digital Divide, and it's something like, I'm like, yo, am I really gonna listen to, like, and she's talking about like interviews and this, that, and other thing, and I'm like, whatever. And then, like, there's just little things in there about, like, communicating with people.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, like, I don't go to a gym, but this guy Anthony's got a podcast, and like, I'll throw his on once in a while, and it's like, you know, you get little bits here and there.
Don't forget Anthony. Don't go all this and don't throw Anthony.
Well, like, literally, like, when I was working in the union, real quick, like, I was driving all the way out to Staten Island some days, like, in the morning, like, I'm exhausted. I'm fucking I was on drugs, so, like, I'm all fucking exhausted. I haven't slept in 3 days. And, like, I would just blast, like, Joe Rogan podcasts. Or, like,
listen to
Yeah,
Joe
I
Rogan.
listen to Joe all the time.
Joe Rogan, I fucking love, man. And, like, I would listen to, like, more of the shit that I probably wouldn't be into. Like, I listened to his one with, like, Bernie Sanders, because I know nothing about politics. And, like,
Right.
I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll get something actually out of it. Like, maybe I'll learn something,
Right.
you know, and, like, a different spin that's not as boring, you know? And I just want to. I used to always call myself dumb, but I'm not dumb. I found out that I'm ignorant, where I just don't care to learn other things. It's not that It's not that I'm dumb and I can't. I just didn't give a shit, you know. And, like, that just makes you ignorant more than, like, it makes you stupid. And,
Right.
like, I still have the problem of going like, oh, I'm fucking stupid, but I'm not. I'm
Uninformed.
relatively smart. Yeah, I'm just uninformed. I'm ignorant, you know. So, like, yeah. So, like, I realized I gotta stop saying that, because you just put yourself down for no reason. I just gotta open my mind to, like, more things, really. And that's, like, really what I'm trying to do now. Just, like, really just get bits and pieces out of anything that I can, you know. And
Right.
I'm just trying to live life, dude. I'm just trying to fucking. I still wake up depressed, you know. Some days suck, but, you know, like, I love that, like, fucking Waldo hit me up and asked me to come play this tournament, like, and this tournament coming up, because, you know what, like, I didn't play paintball for a while, and paintball, like, the only thing where, like, seriously, I feel free. Like, I legitimately just, like, there's no outside worries. Like, I can go out there and I can just roll my gun, and it's almost, like, peaceful. Like, it's like I get, like, serenity almost. Like, it's, like, in, like, a weird fucking way.
Yeah.
Anybody that plays knows that, man. Anybody
Right.
that plays knows that feeling.
It's fucking, you just are at peace, dude. Like, you're just out there, and, like, the adrenaline's going, and, like, you have no outside worries. Like, everything is left out on that field right then and there, and it just feels great.
Nah, dude, 100%. I say it all the time in this podcast. I'm sure people tell me, but the best feeling for me in the world is when you hear the board go, game starts in 10 seconds.
Dude, that's immediately, dude.
Immediately,
Immediate anxiety, just fucking. Yeah, dude.
You guys
facts,
are
you hear
pumped already, dude.
Yeah.
Ready to
I'm
go.
getting pumped right now
Yeah,
after
yeah,
I just
facts,
said it,
facts,
dude.
I'm
I'm a little
ready.
juiced up. Jeez.
Dude, yeah, facts, bro. That fucking sound literally is is like when, and then you hear that buzzer and you fucking run off, dude. Oh my god, there's no feeling like it. There really isn't. I fucking love this sport, man, for real.
But all right, dude. Yeah, awesome, dude. Dylan, thank you for coming on the
Thank
show,
you for having
dude.
me.
Dude, I really appreciate it, dude. I thought this was great, dude. We're definitely gonna have to have you back, bro, because we just killed like over an hour, and that felt like 5 minutes, dude.
Has it really been that long?
Dude, it's been over an hour. So, again, thank you guys all for tuning in. Thank Dylan for coming. Remember to use code Overshot at Dizana Sports and code Overshot10 at VolcanoUSA.com. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode, man. Take it easy.
Peace out, guys.